On this episode of Inside the Blueprint, we're searching for the companies making a big impact with the latest industry innovations. When it comes to new building solutions, modular construction may be the answer. Water causes all sorts of complex challenges, but the experts are tackling nature with biology and engineering. We take an in-depth look at the ins and outs of urban planning designs that aim to improve underdeveloped communities. Heating and cooling large buildings can be a challenge. An all-in-one system can make it that much easier. And lots more as we go inside the blueprint. Today, we get an inside look at Ramtech Building Systems, a leader in modular construction for over 35 years.
Ramtech was founded as basically a dealer of portable buildings. It's evolved over the years. We have manufacturing in-house, but we're also now a design-build modular construction company, both relocatable and permanent modular buildings. Our biggest areas of business right now are in school and government work, but we've expanded quite a bit recently into medical and commercial offices.
Known for their speed to market, flexibility of application, and affordability, Ramtech can build both permanent and relocatable commercial structures for your company.
You know, one of the big drivers of value in modular or off-site construction is shifting scopes of work, conventional sense, be done on-site to a manufacturing facility. And generally lops 25 to 40% of the time off of a commercial construction project, which lowers the costs associated with having people on site and other trades costs.
Value engineering is fairly easy whenever all the elements of the design process, estimating process, and construction are all under the same roof. We can best identify from our many years of experience what's the best route to take to meet a customer's needs. We offer them design assistance by developing their space plans. Once the plan review is done and approved, any issues resolved, we can start manufacturing in the plant. Once it enters production, our quality assurance group takes over. And then also there's a third-party inspector that comes in independent of us and inspects at least once weekly. Ramtech can provide pretty much what the customer needs.
Aside from their turnkey approach, what sets Ramtech apart from the others in this space is their innovative slab-on-grade permanent modular buildings.
We were doing pre-engineered metal buildings so we could provide schools a larger space such as gymnasiums and such. And we learned from that we could interface a slab in what we were doing. We have a construction floor in our plant that we utilize that's integral to the transporter, but when it gets to the site, it sits on the slab and it becomes completely equal to a site-built building.
Design and appeal are important when it comes to construction, and modular design is no different.
The term modular has been associated with temporary structures. So there's a perception, I think, that these buildings are of a lower quality, that they don't have the lifespan of a traditional, conventionally built building. These buildings have to be cookie cutter, that they have to be a combination of boring rectangles. And that's really just not true. Modular commercial buildings are built to the same codes as conventional buildings. They're built with the same materials. We can work alongside architects, and we can really produce buildings that are not only beautiful and architecturally appealing, but you're really getting as good, if not a superior product to a conventionally constructed building. You really can't tell when it's done right.
To learn more about Ramtech and their incredible modular capabilities, visit their website, ramtechmodular.com, or watch this segment again on InsideTheBlueprint.com. Perhaps nothing better exemplifies the battle to overcome the whims of nature than overcoming the challenges posed by water. Flooding, flash floods, drainage, and erosion can all lead to serious threats to structures, property, and most importantly, citizens.
There's a misconception with water in that people don't understand the impacts that it can have on a project site or the community.
I'm always amazed at how water impacts and moves through and around the earth, as well as what it does to the earth, the way the two react together. I see shrinking and swelling, rotational slumps and failures in landslide applications. I see poor pressure forcing entire walls off the side of mountains. Just a lot of different things that occur as the water migrates through the earth.
Luckily, Dallas-based Cardinal Strategies are experts at providing the engineering, environmental, and construction know-how needed to solve complex water challenges.
So we do engineering, environmental, and construction. We focus on water specialty, mostly in Dallas-Fort Worth. We do also work in some projects in different parts of Texas and Oklahoma. We have a water resources engineering team that provides flood study analysis, floodplain reclamations for new site development. We have an environmental team that's focused on stormwater compliance and stormwater management. And then our construction group focuses on landslide remediation, stream restoration, and dam leak remediations.
To Cardinal Strategies, the complex issues surrounding water solutions requires an approach that draws upon several disciplines.
I've been in the stormwater and stream water business for about 47 years. I got involved in it because of my interest in soil science and biology as a combination. It takes a little bit of both of those. It takes your biology as well as your soil sciences to understand how the earth works and when and what will work. Well, I think most of the time people see damage or something that's occurred with a water activity, and the first thing they resort to is a structural repair. In other words, they'll try to overpower the water in the earth, and you can't do that if you don't address that source and redirect the water or control the water from that standpoint. It doesn't matter what kind of structure you put in front of it, it will ultimately fail.
So we want to create some new ideas that are soft armoring, soft vegetative natural solutions so that it improves the whole channel versus just the area that has the problem.
The key is to address the actual stability of the slope while not negatively impacting anything downstream. So whatever repair you put in should not increase the velocity flow down the channel. Most hard structures do this. That's why I use a more biotechnical type of installation. The first thing I do when I hear of a new project or a project comes to our attention is I review historical data and topographic maps and also charts on soils so I know what the dominant soil is and what its reaction is. Once I do that, I actually like to go myself. I go to the site and then investigate the site to determine what the source or cause of the failure was. And then I inventory everything that's on the site so that I can see what type of plant material is surviving there, how is it surviving, and was it impacted. I look for other usable materials such as downed trees and not require additional materials to be added. When you have vegetation, that takes energy out of the water. You use stemming materials also, which are bushes and brush, so as the water infiltrates into the bank, reducing its velocity again. The weirs that we install in the bottom turn the water back to the center of the channel, and that way we protect both sides of the channel as it goes down the stream. A successful project for us is when the native vegetation overtakes the remediated bank. The flow in the channel is directed back toward the center of the channel, developing small pools for the habitat of aquatic life to reestablish itself, and we have slowed down the velocity flows so we do not negatively impact the downstream properties.
To learn more about Cardinal Strategies, visit cardinalstrategies.com and InsideTheBlueprint.com. The hustle and bustle of city life is so commonplace that we rarely give thought to the systems and planning that help citizens move around. Simon Engineering and Consulting brings experience and skill combined with a reliable and committed approach to improvement and development of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Simon Engineering is a civil engineering planning and design firm, and we design roadway infrastructure, water, wastewater infrastructure, and drainage infrastructure for anywhere from major transportation agencies to small developers. We are most proud of our approach to our projects, especially when it comes to improving underdeveloped communities. We believe that everyone should have an opportunity to live amongst sustainable infrastructure. And so our goal is to be a part of those developments and bring life to communities, bring a sense of pride to communities based on the infrastructure that we're able to bring to those communities. Especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a lot of development in the southern sector has lacked. There are communities that have been forgotten, overlooked, lost their pride. Our goal is to be a part of bringing life back to those communities.
To Simon Engineering, development means more than just planning and design of civil engineering projects. Simon Engineering is committed to improving communities beyond just the use of concrete and cement.
For instance, we worked on a project in Fort Worth for the client was Trinity Metro. The project was to develop a bus transfer facility in order to improve the safety of passengers transferring from one bus to another. There was some challenge in getting that work done, or even the planning portion of the project, because there was concern that the community wouldn't really embrace this development. It would get torn up. It's in a very undeveloped part of the city. It wouldn't be taken care of. The benefit that we brought to the project was, number one, engaging the community. They took on that project as their own. We took in their ideas. We brought an artist onto our team that tied our site back to the urban village concept. It turned out to be so good that the community was extremely proud of it. The agency, Trinity Metro, had a very standard approach to the passenger shelters that they would design for bus transfer facilities. The community wanted something unique between getting the community's engagement and really getting the buy-in of the agency. We were able to come up with a really, really nice design that again tied that urban village back to our site.
The commitment to inclusivity and social improvement also extends beyond the projects to Simon Engineering itself.
Here at Simon Engineering, I like to say that we take an unconventional approach to our recruitment efforts. In fact, I'm not necessarily looking for the 4.0 person or the one that was top of their class or was involved in, all these different activities. I want somebody that really wants an opportunity in civil engineering. The people that we have been blessed to hire give their all to this work.
In fact, during my interview process with Nikki, one of the things that attracted me to come to this company was the diversity of projects we handle and the freedom that I have to exercise my knowledge and expertise in providing a viable solution to our clients.
As a business owned by a woman of color, Simon Engineering takes a head-on approach to diversity.
My very first job, my boss called me into his office my very first day, and he shared with me that his department, which was a structural engineering department, had never worked with a black person before. And he was just open about it and just wanted to let me know that he was open to any discussion of issues that I came across or anything. It really took me a long time to find my voice. So my goal in starting Simon Engineering was to create an environment where minorities and women or others who seem to be forgotten could thrive.
This is the office that I feel more comfortable, even with my accent. To have a platform which could really encourage your differences is also a plus.
We're in a time now where we need to come together to seek opportunities to really improve the communities that have been forgotten.
To learn more about Simon Engineering and Consulting, visit simonengineering.com and insidetheblueprint.com. Magic Pack. is an industry leader in multifamily HVAC technology. A combination of performance, convenience, and flexibility, these all-in-one units optimize the construction process from design to occupancy.
So our mission is to be the obvious choice for heating and cooling solutions for the multifamily industry, for architects and engineers and developers and contractors. This is a goal that we pursue with a unique product called MagicPack. MagicPack is an all-in-one HVAC system that maximizes and optimizes projects. Allied Air is a division of Lennox International, and we happen to be celebrating our 125th anniversary this year. Lennox is quite unique, actually, as the only American-based pure HVAC provider. Our commitment and our intensity of focus is a big, big deal. We launched the MagicPack concept more than 50 years ago now, offering a new approach to delivering comfort in multifamily dwellings. In fact, we created this all-in-one HVAC category.
MagicPack is an all-in-one HVAC system which improves the overall building environment while saving time and money.
So MagicPack is a really unique approach to doing heating and cooling systems in a multifamily environment, like an apartment or a condo. First of all, it starts by not taking two separate components, an indoor unit and an outdoor unit, and having them separately installed, but having everything combined into one single box. So when you do that, you simplify the design stage by making it easier to include the HVAC system unobtrusively in the apartment complex or building. It makes it easier for an architect to design around the HVAC system and not have to make space and waste valuable green space outside the building. And it makes it easier for the installing contractor to repeatably put in a unit indoor only, takes less than half the time of a traditional system, reduces your labor hours, and gets you faster to the occupancy stage when the property can start making money.
MagicPack, with its plug-and-play design, is an ideal HVAC solution for apartments, condominiums, hotels, and other multifamily buildings construction. Its heating and cooling solution simplifies multi-vent building development at every stage, from construction to maintenance.
We say a lot of times with MagicPack that it's one choice that has a greater impact. So we know that architects and developers make over 5,000 choices on the products they want to include in every property they develop. And we think MagicPack actually creates the opportunity to open up more space, create a nicer living area, quieter, more peaceful space, and a space that's more desirable for residents. So there's a lot that goes into a great HVAC system. There's a compressor, there's an evaporator coil, there's a condenser, there's a blower, electrical components, control boards, and with MagicPack, we've been able to condense every single one of those components into a single package that's very simple to design with, very simple to install, it's unobtrusive on the property, and it helps fulfill the architect's vision. So I think that's where our innovation really shows. So this all-in-one HVAC system contains everything you need in one single compact package. You have a high-efficiency blower up top that moves the air throughout your system. In the center, you'll see a high-efficiency gas section with reliable blowers and a high-efficiency inducer motor to bring in fresh air from the outside. And then at the bottom, you'll see the compressor and then our high surface area coils that transfer the maximum amount of heat to the maximum amount of efficiency.
We're in Allied Air Manufacturing in Orangeburg, South Carolina. We started off from the base lay-in station, move around to the brazing stations. This is where we solder our joints together so that there causes no leaks. Then we put those to two high-powered pressure tests. One high-powered pressure, the next is the chamber. Then we go through a vacuum stage, test it, cooling stages. Then we install that to marry the heating side. So this unit is so incredibly different because we actually combine 2 in 1. It doesn't split, 2 in 1. You have heating and cooling out of the same cabinet. Here at the facility, we do assemblies for residential heating and air conditioning here. We assemble them here on the manufacturing floor. Then we package them and ship them.
From innovative technology that serves architects, property developers, engineers, and mechanical contractors, Allied Air, with their product MagicPack multifamily HVAC system, which optimizes the construction process from design to occupancy.
So we're really excited about the future of our company. MagicPack is a well-recognized solution in many markets across Canada and the United States. We're seeking to broaden our footprint into all of the other markets, and we expect to see significant growth in the future.
Where does innovation come from? More often than not, it stems from a need or a problem that requires a solution. This is what inspires the engineers, technicians, and research scientists at Owens Corning. Owens Corning is not only a world leader in insulation, they've taken it to a whole new level altogether. Insulation used to be thought of as just a way to keep in and/or keep out heat and cold. But the folks at Owens Corning have been developing and manufacturing some of the most dynamic and functional insulation in the biz. Now, when talking about insulation, you should include descriptors like acoustics and fire resistance. In a business where innovation is the name of the game, Owens Corning isn't afraid to push the envelope to stay ahead of the competition.
My name's Julian Francis. I'm the president of the insulation business at Owens Corning. And in that capacity, I have accountability for the global operations of the insulation business. Today, Owens Corning consists of three businesses: our roofing business, our insulation business, and our glass fiber reinforcements business, all really founded on the basis of glass fiber, the invention back in 1938. And then after the post-war boom in construction of single-family homes, the insulation business really started to take off. Residential construction is probably where we're most famous, with our iconic pink insulation that was introduced as early as 1950s. In 2013, we bought into a business, we acquired a business called Thermafiber, which is a mineral wool product. So actually it's made of waste material from steel manufacturing, but it melts at a much higher temperature, and so it's very, very good at both its thermal performance but also its fire resistive properties.
Angie is a technical services leader with Owens Corning, who develops fire control systems using mineral wool as insulation.
Owens Corning Thermafiber pioneered the first perimeter fire containment system. And we designed these life safety systems around our mineral wool insulation products. And so it's systems like this that we install in some of the high-rise buildings like One World Trade Center. So a perimeter fire containment system is constructed primarily out of mineral wool insulation. And really the mineral wool insulation is the workhorse behind the assembly, just because it can resist very high temperatures for a very long period of time. We have containment systems that offer protection up to 3 hours, so that it allows more time in a building for people to evacuate safely. Over here we have a representation of a curtain wall in an exterior high-rise building. We see the Thermafiber Owens Corning mineral wool insulation is covering and protecting a portion of that exterior wall. The critical part of the assembly, though, is really the barrier. And this is where you have a joint between the floor slab and the exterior curtain wall. Now imagine if you did not fill that void with any material, fire would have a free path to spread from floor to floor.
Today we're using the ASTM E84 Steiner tunnel to assess the surface burning characteristics of our mineral wool insulation. So in the E84 tunnel test, this sample is top loaded in a ceiling orientation so that when the flames come up, they hit the bottom of the sample, just like on every sample, even comparison samples. From there, it depends on what the product is made of. We'll then determine how far down the flame front travels down the surface of the material. These are the results from the ASTM E84 Steiner tunnel test. We get a flame spread index and a smoke developed index, and those help us meet the codes.
This particular apparatus is the E119 small scale quarter wall test. So basically this is a wall furnace, and this would be our mock curtain wall insulated with the mineral wool insulation. And we would have a window opening here on the full scale test. We'll fill this room with fire, and we'll get to temperatures well above 1800 degrees Fahrenheit to demonstrate the fire resistive performance of the wall system itself.
Owens Corning's Thermafiber insulation is not only flame resistant, but it also has noise reduction capabilities.
I'm Corey Taylor. I'm the technical lead for the Acoustic Research Center. This is where we design, develop, and evaluate the acoustic performance of our material. So we're going to be running our ASTM E90 test, and this evaluates the sound performance from room to room. The only way sound energy is going to get from our source room to our receive room is through the wall partition that we have in place. So we're going to start this test, and what we're actually measuring is the sound pressure levels over time. So these are the levels of our source room, and here we can see that we are about 95, 97 decibels in our source room. And if we look at the receive chamber, the levels in there are around 60 decibels, just a little under. So what that tells us is that the wall that we have in place is mitigating approximately 30 decibels of sound at this one particular frequency.
Not all Thermafiber products are created equal. We need different product designs for different applications. Our light density products are designed for interior applications to ensure that our homes are quieter, more comfortable, and safer in the event of a fire in a residential zone. On the other hand, our heavy density products are better used in perimeter applications on the outside of buildings to deliver that superior fire performance that is required.
We focus very deeply on the overall performance of the building. So not just from a thermal standpoint as when people think about insulation, but also acoustics, life safety, and then the overall performance of the building through a building science outlook, moisture protection, air infiltration. So many of these things we design into our products. It's not just about insulating a home thermally against cold or against heat, but also the performance of the building as a whole. Acoustics, fire, how it interacts with other systems in the building. And that means we just have to be experts in the building science.
Thanks for watching Inside the Blueprint. For more information on any of the products you saw today, or to find out how to become part of the show, please visit InsideTheBlueprint.com.